Tennessee Titans fans, it's that time of the week where we hop on Reddit and see what fans are saying about the state of the organization. And it's been a doozy this year, and I expect this week to be no different. These posts are coming from the Two Tone Talk Reddit page. There's a link to that community in the video description below. You can go over there, join that community, leave your questions, comments, memes, concerns, and they will get featured on this segment next week. Let's get into it. This user said, off-season for the Titans 2026. Once we go into the off-season, I hope Amy Adams Strunk learns her lesson about hirings and firings once we hire a new coach and go into the off-season. Look at Jed York, the owner of the 49ers. He learned his lesson. They went from 3 different head coaches and also GM Trent Baalke, and now they got Kyle Shanahan and GM John Lynch. I hope Amy Adams Strunk learns her lesson once we go into the offseason and do what Jed York did and learned his lesson, and Amy Adams Strunk needs to follow that. I mean, certainly the Titans have got to have stability. You can't keep hiring and firing people. And the problem is, it's not that they're firing the wrong people, it's that they're hiring the wrong people. They keep making bad hires, and that's why they got to keep firing people all the time. You got to make a good hire. You got to keep Mike Morganza. You've got to assume that's a good hire, keep him in place, and then hire the right head coach in January and have all of them together for a long time. You got to give things time now. You are at a place where you cannot plan to hire and fire within a couple years. You've got to hire somebody you can keep. This user said, build the ultimate Tennessee Titans head coach. You must take one attribute from each Tennessee Titans coach and one Oiler coach to build the perfect coach for the Titans next season. Here's the problem with this prompt, because I'm terrible at stuff like this. I'll just say, like, the problem is as I thought back over this and the Tennessee Titans coaches, most of them don't have any attributes that I would want. Like Ken Wisenhunt, I don't want nothing from him. What's his name? Brian Callahan. I couldn't even think of his name. Brian Callahan, I don't want anything from him. I guess most of the attributes, I mean, you said I could only take one, but most of my attributes I would want from Jeff Fisher or Vrabel. Maybe from Munchak, you could take his offensive line coaching. But, like, there's so many coaches through the year. I mean, Malarkey, I don't know. It's just like I look at most of these coaches and I'm like, dude, I don't want anything from any of these guys. BTA Dogs. Now, what does Simmons mean by this? Because he deleted it already. I'm going to assume it has something to do with the Mississippi State Bulldogs, which is where he went to college. I don't know what exactly he was referring to or when that tweet went up, nor do I know why he deleted it. But I'm going to assume it had something to do with the Mississippi State Bulldogs. This user said, bittersweet visit to Nissan Stadium. I was born bleeding Colombian blue. That sounds like I just want to say that sounds like a great opening line to a country song right there. I was born bleeding Colombian blue. Warren Moon and company locked me into being an Oilers fan for life. I was upset when they moved to Nashville, but couldn't possibly change allegiances. I have been fortunate enough to get to watch the Titans in person several times over my adult life, including being seated in the end zone watching Steve McNair barely be able to walk, lead a final drive comeback in Houston during his MVP year. Last week was my first visit to what should have been friendly territory. I even sprung for 50-yard line seats just a few rows back. To be honest, I was overcome with emotion just before kickoff. Finally, after 40 years of being a fan, this was my first opportunity to see them at Nissan Stadium. The seats were amazing and far better than any of my previous games at the opposing team stadiums. I didn't expect it, but in that moment, it was like I saw all players and teams from over my lifetime. That, coupled with my own personal journey to now sitting at the 50 in Nashville, surreal. Then kickoff happened, and I quickly realized that the Patriots fans far outnumbered the home crowd. I might as well not have even been in Nashville. Sad. It is indeed hard being a Titans fan, but I cannot switch allegiances. I may even double down and go after season tickets in the new stadium. I wish I knew why they have my loyalty, but I just don't know how to be anything other than an Oiler Titan fan. Tighten up. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say that last thing you said there kind of got me fired up and gave me chills, bro. I don't know how to be anything else, dude. It almost makes me tear up saying it. Like, I don't know how to be anything else. People say, like, oh, yeah, I get comments all the time from people that are like, why don't you come be an Eagles fan? Why don't you come be a Seahawks fan? Why don't you come over here and be a Lions fan? I don't know how to be anything else, man. Like, these pictures on my wall of Steve and Eddie, those were given to me at Christmas when I was 7 years old, man. These pictures up here you can't really see. Those are from the 2000 Tennessee Titans trading cards that they gave out at the game that I went to when I was 7 years old, when the Titans beat the Bengals 35-3. I don't know how to be anything else. And I appreciate, bro, that you went and felt that emotion, man. Because, like, I would hope any fan of any team out there, whether you root for a team that's good or whether you root for a team that's bad, that's like, those of you that are rock solid fans, I'm going to be here till I die. I don't care how bad it gets. Like, that passion, man. That passion that says I'm going to plan my Sunday around Titans Chargers this Sunday, even though I know we're getting smoked, because I don't know how to be anything else. I don't have it in me to switch teams. I'm not doing it. Like, I'm here. That's not, like, I know it sucks right now, and it sucks to go to that home game and see fans of the other team, but I appreciate you. I really do. I appreciate that fandom. If Borgonzi, apparently this was before the trade happened, if Borgonzi trades McCreary, I'm done. When I first heard of the McCreary trade rumors, I quickly dismissed them. Roger has been a solid player for us since we drafted him, and we are so thin at corner, there's just no way we could afford to ship him out. Well, now there's multiple national outlets reporting the same rumor, and I'm a firm believer in where there's smoke, there's fire. After shipping out Brownlee, which I'm still mad about, how can we afford to trade away Roger? Mike has preached transparency since the day he arrived, and up until recently, I believed that. What has changed for him to start shipping out our boys? Ones that we drafted and developed right here in Nashville, no less. If Mike gets rid of McCreary, then I just don't know about him anymore. Is this his ego? The fact that he didn't draft Roger himself? It just doesn't make sense. And then edit at the bottom, I'm done. So stupid. And such a blank return, too. I made it 20 plus years as a fan, but I will not waste any more time on this team. Quite a far cry from the post we saw before this. So I've had a few days to think about the McCreary trade. I think there's a couple of layers. Number one, McCreary was set to be a free agent at the end of the year. Who knows? Maybe he had made it known that he did not want to come back next year. Who knows? Maybe. But either way, at the very least, they didn't have any interest in bringing him back. And I think Roger McCreary is a good player. I don't think he's a great player. And normally I wouldn't mind if you think you can go find a better slot corner in the draft or in free agency this year. I just think because those are easier to find than outside corners. I think what it does for me is it just brings to light the fact that we traded a good young player in Jarvis Brownlee. I would have a lot less of a problem with this if we had not traded Brownlee a month or a little over a month ago to the Jets for a 6th-round pick swap. Like, I would be a lot more cool with trading McCreary. At least McCreary's on a contract year, and maybe you don't want to, because I think his estimated contract was like $15 million a year, the new contract he'll get from another team this offseason. And no, I don't want the Titans to pay Roger McCreary $15 million a year. But I just hate that you traded Brownlee. That's the one that really gets me, that I do not understand. This user said NFL to pressure Amy Adams Strunk into selling. Sign up, let's get her to sell this garbage. And that link is a petition. They have started a petition to try to get Amy to sell the team. There's a reason I don't really talk about selling the team on my channel or on the podcast, because it's not going to happen. Like, Amy's not going to sell the team. She's just not going to do it. So there's just no point in talking about it. She owns it. This team would lose to Bishop Sycamore. This team is a bigger fraud than Bishop Sycamore. 38-14, are you joking? Week after week, we take fatter L's and become more and more of a joke to this league. We have analysts laughing at the Titans and making comedy skits about the Titans, and it's getting worse. I had no expectations for the fraud Titans going into this game, but seriously, getting smacked around like last week's trash is blank blank embarrassing. This team sucks. Why does God insist on letting the Titans punish me every year with such poor performances? What did I do wrong in a past life to be punished with this torture? This season is officially finished. I am done with this. I mean, I get the anger. I get being upset. I guess I'm kind of at a different mindset at this point. Like, I just know what they are, and I went into that game expecting them to lose 38-14, and I've stopped paying attention to the final scores. I've stopped paying attention to the wins and losses. I just want to see Cam play well. I want to see the rookies play well. I want to see the young players play well. It's really all I care about. Like, I can't, for my own mental health, I cannot sit here and worry about final scores. That being said, I do understand how rare it is to see a team in the NFL that's so bad that they're getting stomped every week. Every week they're getting stomped. Like not even a game in the fourth quarter. Yeah, I understand. They're terrible. We play to not lose. We don't play to win. It is quite clear that 50 to 75% of our roster is a rotational backup on other teams in the NFL. Not really a secret. Our talent is bottom tier. My main problem is that it doesn't really seem to matter who we have as coach. We seem to always play to not lose instead of attacking and going for the throat. At this point, down 10 plus in the third quarter, I'm going for it every time. I'm onside kicking every time. Show these guys you give a crap. Don't concede. I'm okay getting blown out 50-8, knowing I tried to be aggressive at every stage, then losing 38-14, playing like some sissy loser chomping at the bit to punt. This team needs new people involved, starting with ownership. They are the main cancer that has been bringing us down since the 60s. I completely agree about playing not to lose, and especially at this point. I mean, you're 1-7. In this Colts game in particular, you were 1-6, going against a 6-1 team, down by 10 in the third quarter, driving to try to get points, and McCoy decides to punt it on 4th and 3 instead of going for it. That's loser mentality. Like, what do you have to lose? You're an interim head coach. And the Titans have been doing this for a while. With Callahan, they did it. There were even some things Vrabel did. It was just like, why are we playing not to lose? Like, like some of these decisions they make in game, Dan Campbell would retire before he would make such weak decisions. This is the NFL draft order as of right now. The Titans, I know it's hard to see, they currently have the 3rd pick. Titans currently hold the number 3 pick, but that could change in coming weeks, so we need to focus on either getting edge rush, offensive tackle, wide receiver for next year's draft. What are y'all's thoughts? Comment down below. Well, talking about draft order right now feels a little silly just because it can change so much. I don't think the Titans will be using that first-round pick on an offensive tackle because I do think J.C. Latham will be back at right tackle next year. And I think Dan Moore will be back at left tackle. He's been aight, and they're not really in a position to be out looking for a franchise left tackle. They've got too many other holes to fill. I would say edge rush, wide receiver, and corner are the positions now. With trading Brownlee and McCreary and Snead's no good, corner is a major need on this team. And but I agree. Like, you know, the draft, you can't help but look at draft order right now because what else do you have to care about? Here are some classics that you should react to on YouTube, and then they go on to list some games from the past. The main reason I featured this post is because this is an idea that I have for the offseason. Now, right now on Patreon, I didn't do it this week because I was sick, but every week we do Throwback Thursday where we spin the wheel and we go back and we watch a game from Titans history or highlights from a game in Titans history over the last 10 years. This offseason, I'm thinking about doing a situation where we watch an entire game. Good or bad, like 59-0 Patriots or something good, a good game from the past. That's an off-season idea I have every week to find a game from Titans history and watch it. This user said, is Chimere DK our best player, not named Jeffrey or Peter? Chimere was honestly the steal of the draft, leading the NFL in return yards as a rookie and clearly our best receiver. He could be a huge weapon if a next coach uses him right. I am very excited about Chimere DK. I think he's been really good as a returner, and I think he's proven to be really good as a wide receiver. I like that pickup. I like what he could be for the Titans, and I'm with you. I think like he is the best receiver on the team right now, which isn't saying much, but he had nearly 100 yards receiving the other day. That's a player you can be encouraged about. And I was skeptical of that pick when they made it, but he's doing a really nice job. Unpopular opinion. I really don't think that the McCreary trade is that bad. Let's look at what they gave up for Snead, which definitely aged poorly, and compare it to what they got for McCreary. Roger McCreary is definitely not as good as prime Snead, and Snead only was worth a 3rd-round pick. So I'd say a 5th is lucky for Roger. As far as return on trades like this, I thought my guess for Roger was a 4th. So I was a little off. They got a 5th. I hated that it was a swap, that we gave up one of our 6th-round picks. But, it's a good value to jump from, a pick that you had in the bottom of the 6th to the top of the 5th. Absolutely. That's good value. And I'm going to assume they explored every avenue to try to get as good of a trade as they possibly could for Roger. And if that's the best they could do, fine. Went to Nashville for the first time. Lifelong Titans fan in California. Finally made it out to Nashville because my wife had a conference. I'm glad they were away, so I didn't spend money to watch the Colts wreck us. I'm pretty sure there are more Colts fans on Broadway than Titans fans, a sad sight to see. Yeah, I mean, it's Nashville is definitely a city that they start coming out when you win, but at times like this, you're not going to get that devotion of where people are just, like the guy that I mentioned earlier that posted that got emotional in the stadium. You're not going to get a lot of that from Nashville. Predicting the rest of the Titans season after starting 1-7. Titans 31, Chargers 24. Ridley goes off for 132 TDs. Titans 45, Texans 3. CJ Stroud throws 3 picks and DK returns 2 kicks for TDs. Titans 27, Seahawks 24. Jeff Simmons has 2 sacks and 1 forced fumble to seal the game. Titans 35, Jags 13. Ellick has 125 for 3 TDs and the Jaguars suck. Titans 35, Browns 10. Ellick goes for 120 again and 2 TDs. Titans 30, 49ers 10. Snead picks off both Purdy and Jones. Both of them. Titans 59, Chiefs 56, game of the year. Cam Ward passes for 470 and 5 touchdowns. Titans 42, Saints 3. Pollard goes for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Titans 16, Jags 0. Snow game where Sly makes 3 field goals from 50-plus and an extra point. Titans get the 6th seed and second in the division after the Colts go 16-1. McCoy wins Coach of the Year. Titans 38, Pats 35. Chig goes for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. Chiefs got caught paying the refs, and they all get sent to jail. AFC title game, Titans 2, Colts 0. Tavondre Sweat safety in the first 10 seconds. And then in the Super Bowl, Eagles down 31-35. Hurts airs it out, and it's intercepted by Cam Ward. Titans win. I mean, bro. I mean, at first I thought they were serious because, like, some of those felt like they were coming from a real place. But then as it went on, like, yeah, crazy. Last post, defensive-minded head coach for 2026. If the Titans go defensive-minded head coach next year, I prefer a guy like Robert Saleh. Him and the Jets didn't get along. He tried changing the Jets' culture, but him and Woody Johnson in the front office didn't get along. I do prefer Robert Saleh here in Tennessee if Titans don't go a different route and hire a defensive coach. I'm not against Robert Saleh. That idea kind of interests me. He didn't work out with the Jets, but a lot of dysfunction with the Jets. Problem is there's a lot of dysfunction with the Titans. And so I don't know how much better he would fare here. That's going to do it for me today. That's the Titans Reddit segment for the week. God bless you. Tighten up.